Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, good afternoon and welcome. We are here to debate on the topic, informal economy, an opportunity or a threat for the country. We believe the informal economy is an opportunity for the country. But before arguing that point, let's have an overall view about informal economy. Whether they are shoe shiners in Karen, street vendors in Calcutta, or not well-paid officials driving taxis at night in the streets of Moscow, all have informal jobs. So, the informal economy represents jobs or activities that are not regulated or protected by the state. When we talk about opportunity, we're talking about a favorable circumstance, a chance for people. Ladies and gentlemen, nowadays, how many people are qualified but still jobless? In fact, the informal economy is a solution to the employment issues. In many ways, its development can be seen as a response to the challenge of population growth, so to the demand of jobs. Now let's take the example of Senegalese youth. We all know the importance of young people in a country's development. According to the Prime Minister Aminata Touré, the insertion rate of graduates in the labor market is only 31%, and an average of 72% of these people live with less than $2 per day. Think about it, less than $2 per day. Fortunately, there is a high proportion of these young people active in the informal economy, which employs 91% of them. I wonder, what would all these people do if there were no informal economy to earn a living while the government struggles to promote the employment market? The reality is that the informal economy allows a large proportion of the population to earn an income that is satisfactory for survival. So, how can it be a threat? Tell me, how can we think about it as a threat?
Dear contestants, honorable members of jury, besides of creating jobs, increasing citizens' living conditions, informal sector also favors entrepreneurship. And this by, in the informal sector, self-employment is the rule, since individual entrepreneurs represent 91.8% of entrepreneurs. To this can be added the fact of, in the informal sector, there is no need to have a high diploma or specific knowledge to make an activity and then make it work. On the other hand, if you look closely to the economic side of this opportunity that is informal sector, we have many opportunities. We usually say, men may lie, women may lie, but figures never lie. Then according to the National Agency of Statistics and Demographics, in 2011, informal sector employed over than 2.2 million persons, and then representing 48.8% of the whole active population. On the other hand, it produced over than 4.5 billion of French CFA, representing 39.8% of the whole national production. We have also 41.8% of the national product group and 58.8% of the whole non-agricultural sector. Then, after this, we shall say it's an evidence that informal economy, instead of being any kind of threat, is a complement of the national economy. Dear contestants, think about this woman with her child, working with her little business in the neighborhood, counting on the informal economy to cover its need. Think about also this cleaner taxi driver. We all know that how benefit is for us, students, with light cost, counting on it to spend less money in transport. And then we should agree with me that informal sector is here to as a response, as a rescue to our economy, to our deficit in national countries' economy. Then, all after have been said, that we still believe in and even thinking that informal economy is a threat for the country? Ask you these questions, ladies and gentlemen, and may you think twice before to answer me. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear members of jury, dear opponents, good afternoon. Let me just time to say that we are so happy to be here and to participate to this great competition as its names great speakers that we are supposed to be. Now let's go to serious businesses. We strongly defend that informal economy is a threat to our country development. We are going sooner to tell you why. But before going any further, let me just remind you all about the definition of formal economy. Formal economy means all economic activities that are regulated, that are normal, that are legal, monitored by the state, and helps this one to finance services of the public services. And with this formal economy, productivity is higher, and you have all conditions to make a better results with your economy. Now, what is informal economy? According to Schneider, informal economy is all activity that are not regulated or source of income that are not registered by the state. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that in Senegal, we find 4 million of workers? Yes, 4 million, my friends, out of 13 million, which represent all population of Senegal. Hold up your brave, please. The grave use is, in this labor force, 4 million of persons, just to 215,000 of them are registered and are regulated by the state. My brothers, I know that you were rational, I know that you were intellectual, and you will be agreed in your profound conviction with me. Because 3.75 million of the labor force, which represent more than 90% of this labor force, are in this informal sector. And they have opportunities such as promotion, which help them to be more efficient, to be great and to have a better grade in their office. Decent salaries, which help them to survive decently, help their families.
He gave us a short snided definition of the informal activity, which is any economic activity or source of income that is not subject to government, regulation, taxation, or observation. He told us about regulation and taxation. Now, I will tell you what the observation is about. If I say observation, I mean the control eye that the government should have on the formal or even on the informal activities. You know, the government have an essential role to play when an entrepreneur made the decision of acting formally or informally. The government should just stop turning blind eyes to the Chinese invasion of the Senegalese market, because these Chinese production are cheaper, they are higher, and they are sometimes harmful to the society. Yeah. Now, get down on the streets of the capital city, Dakar, where we all live. You will see how the street vendors are creating disorder on the pavements or even on the public squares. So I will give you an important example in the field of industry. You do know Sotiba. Sotiba vanished because of the second-hand clothes and left 1,000 fathers jobless. I know that you will agree after, but I will end up by reminding you the the key of role that the government should play either on the formal economy or on the informal economy. Thank you for your attention. I will let James speak.
Okay, thank you, brother. And thank you, dear public. Now we are at the second part of this match, meaning that the two left speakers of the teams will come and criticize what the others have done. Young lady, I load your cell phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, informal economy had never been a threat. Dear contestants, when you are speaking about informal economy as a threat, saying that some factories are closing their doors, saying that it's a kind of insecurity for people who are working in informal economy, I say that you don't think about the fact that these people were rejected by the formal one. Most of the time, they are judged as non-qualified by the formal sector. And there is only the informal one to give them the hand. When you are speaking about factories which must close doors, it's because these factories doesn't want to use informal sector. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to know if there is someone here who sells Sedo. There is. Okay. These people are actors of informal economy. You know, they are still students, but they already have a job. It's not a formal one, but thanks to them, Sonatel can reach each school, each house in this country. Without them, what would Sonatel do? The informal sector is the hand of the formal one where it cannot go. And in addition, when you say that informal economy cannot help a country to grow, I will speak about India and China. These great powers. In India, up to 90% of workers belong to informal sector. And in China, in 2007, you all know which kind of power is China today. And in China, up to 53% of workers belong to the informal sector. But this country is a great power. Ladies and gentlemen, who doesn't use Clando here? Who never use Clando here? Who never buy Cafe Tuba? Who never buy Zero here? Who never buy an orange card here? You used to go to the actors of informal sector to have something each day because this sector is an opportunity given to us. And what I will add is that according to the National Statistics Agency, most of the workers of informal sector here in Senegal are between 18 and 35 years old. And these people were rejected by the formal sector. And these people had a chance, an opportunity not to stay in streets, becoming gangsters and used to attack people. So informal economies is also an opportunity to reduce insecurity in our country. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, gentlemen. Dear opponent, I totally disagree with you. Your presentation is simply pathetic. But let me be very clear. What we propose, dear jury, is not to destroy the informal sector. What we propose, in order to reach the economic development, in order to give our kids and grandkids a better life, we have to formalize the informal economy. Let me come. Thank you very much. Do you know on earth a country which is developed when its informal economy is the dominated economy? No. The first issues I would like to address is taxation. I would like to address taxation. We are in Senegal. Taxes are the main source of income for our government to finance the public services. Dear opponent, your statement was so pathetic. How could you defend informal economy where informal business owners make a lot of billions and refuse to pay enough tax? So our government could make our life easier. So our government could build infrastructure such as transportation road, ports, airports, hospital, where our fathers, our mothers can get their medicine when they're sick and be treated by good doctors. How can you congratulate informal economy that refuse to pay enough taxes so our government could build college, universities, where our kids and grandkids can get access to the best courses? Gentlemen, this situation will only aggravate the deficits, worsen the debt crisis, and make our country less confident. So the second issue I would like to tackle is human rights. We are human, we're not animal. We should work in a wonderful environment. Look what do the informal business owners. They exploit their workers. The people who work in the informal sector's life, their life are at risk. They are at risk because they earn low income that will not allow them to support their family and give bright future to their kids. So now, the last point is you. How many millions you and your fathers are investing in your studies? And now, I want you to tell me, or to tell the audience, with all the millions you have invested in your studies, are you dreaming to be hired by the informal sector that will deny your rights? Come on. An informal sector that will not recognize your diplomas, your skills, your qualities. I wait your answer for this question. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your kind attention.